Welcome back to another episode of My Point of View, and today I will be discussing Ben Shapiro's review of Superman today, because look, I know I didn't have to do this, but I wanted to do something fun because, it's, fun for me, I guess. So it's, yeah. So Ben Shapiro swears this movie isn't woke. He swears it isn't. He swears it's just a Superman movie with like maybe one line about anti-ice and like a part of the movie that you could read one way, but you really can't, according to him. And if you've got leftism on the brain or politics on the brain, then maybe. But if you don't, then well, there's no wokeness here. And he said there's no truth, justice, and the human way in this. And then before I get into more, it's like, to me, it feels like he's almost doing it just because Trump tweeted out that he would make a better Superman, even tweeting out that picture. It's almost like Ben was like, oh, I've got to say this isn't woke then, because he's such an anti-Trumper that everything Trump says he has to be against. So since Trump said it was woke, well, it's not woke now. I don't know what he's talking about. He's never been honest. He's not true. It's not woke. We promise you it's not woke. Even though James Gunn said it was woke, even though James Gunn's brother said it was woke, even though Nathan Fillion said it was woke, doesn't matter. Just doesn't matter. Now again, I don't believe the lie that the internet's trying to tell you, that James Gunn didn't mean to answer. It was the reporter's fault. Yeah, the reporter might have asked him, but you know what? Tom Cruise showed that you can just walk away. You can. You can just walk away when you don't like the question. Tom Cruise was asked about tariffs during a Mission Impossible press tour, and you know what he said? I'm focusing on the movie right here, guys. Let's focus on the movie. My gosh, James Gunn could have done that. He's an adult male. He could have done it. He's like 50 or 40. I don't know. The beard, the white beard makes me think he's older. But I don't know how old he is. But like, he's an adult male. He's been in Hollywood long enough that he knows how to not answer questions. He could have just either avoided the question. His brother could have. Nathan Fillion could have. But he didn't. He answered it fully, and then he answered it again, too. And then when he realized that how bad that was for the movie's box office, the day before, he's like, oh, but I mean, movies need to be creative again. We need to let go of politics. Yeah, because he heard himself saying it's about politics, which it is. I've heard, again, it's one of those moments that it just depends on who you trust. Do you trust the people that lie to you about everything else, or the people who tell you, that are at least a little bit truth tellers when it comes to movies? I don't know. And that's the thing. It's just up to who you believe. So then Ben Shapiro goes off on a tangent about how Superman is about no one should be anointed these powers unless they're good in the American way, which, first off, he treats it like he was given these powers or something. It's like, technically he was born with them, technically. Because of the sun, he was. I know he was given them by the sun, but he was technically born with them. So and there's kind of this whole, and then Ben goes off on a tangent for a while about how we should use the legislator against him. We should use the, it's like, anybody who's saying they didn't like Ben Shapiro's review, like I am, I can believe it. I can believe you don't like his review. Obviously, yeah, I can believe it. Why can I believe it easily? Because he's always like this. Every time there's a popular movie that comes out, he does the thing that's countercultural. If all the culture loves Barbie, he'll say he hates Barbie. If everybody says they love Batman back in a couple of years ago, well, then he hates Batman, or he hates Glass Onion just because everybody else loves Glass Onion. I didn't like Batman, by the way. I didn't like Batman. There is a politics in it, but I just found it too dark and too, like, literally lighting-wise, too dark. At some point, I think the Batman movies are just going to end up filming a black screen for 3 hours, and then the director will call himself genius, whoever it is. But the point is that, so it's just, to me, it just feels like, I don't know, like I said earlier, it feels almost like Ben was like, everybody's saying this movie's woke, so I gotta say this movie isn't woke. Watch Michael's review and you'll see it is woke. I mean, I'm not saying it's like die hard, super woke, like, and everything, but it's, it's woke enough. It's woke enough when again, I'm not even taking the word of the podcasters. I'm taking the word of the director and his brother and one of the actors in it. That is who I am taking. Because if James Gunn says it's woke, well, then he's the one who makes it. I'm sure he knows. He directed the thing. I'm sure he knows. And then I found an article of them saying Superman was always an immigrant or something from the Hollywood Reporter, because, you know, they're woke. So, you know, that's the thing. And again, maybe the reporter was wrong for asking the question. Yeah. But James Gunn could have walked away. Like I said earlier, James Gunn could have just said, oh, I'm not going to talk about that right now. Or, oh, can we just focus on the movie? I don't want to get into all that political stuff. He could have said it. But no, he said the thing to get the internet riled up. And then when he realized it might hurt his movie, then all of a sudden he starts talking like a rational human. Anyway, so, you know, that's just, to me, it just, you know, I didn't agree with Ben Shapiro. And then he says, like, we have to send the legislator and the checks and balances and the other, you know, like, if Superman isn't American, we have to send checks and balances. And, you know, it's like, it's almost like, I swear, he posted his review after Trump posted his post. I didn't check the dates for that, but I swear he did it just because MAGA was saying it was woke, so he's got to be like the legislator, the checks and balances. And this is how he is all the time, about everything. Even with the Epstein thing, it's like, just believe them. Believe them, and if you don't believe them, well, then just say you think Trump's a pedophile. Say it. He said that. Google him and see if he didn't say that you think he's a pedophile now, don't you? You think that they're covering for pedophiles now, don't you? Just say it. Just say it. Well, I'm not going to say it because I don't believe that. But I believe the other stuff. I believe that Superman's woke, and I in my other, click on my other video if you want to hear what I think about the Epstein thing. But the point is that it's just like Superman is woke in this. He was woke in Man of Steel as well. I think the only one that wasn't woke, again, probably was Richard Donner's version back in the day. You know, and even then there were moments of like those movies, like there was like the fourth one where they bitched about nuclear, which honestly today would kind of be shown as right wing. Like if Quest for Peace came out today, I guarantee you the media would say it's too much of a right wing fever dream. It's too much of a right wing podcast thing. You don't understand how the movie actually isn't actually true or something. And you'd hear Ben Shapiro saying, how dare you try to, spread such misinformation and conspiracy theories about the war. How dare you do that? You are literally hurting people, is what he would say about Quest of Peace. We all know it's true. We all know it's true. We all know he would say that. Well, anyway, as I was saying earlier, so Ben Shapiro apparently thought, let's talk about checks and balances and legislator and the Federalist Papers and all that during a Superman review. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised if a lot of people were like, what? What are you talking about? Federalist Paper? What the hell are you talking about? Checks and balances, man. What's this checks and balances nonsense you're talking about? And again, it's not nonsense, I know, but during a Superman review it is. And then he's like, the patriotism that Superman represents. Yeah, that you don't represent. Because anytime somebody's super American, you're like, can we all calm down? Can we all settle down from all that divisiveness? Can we realize that checks and balances and legislator is the way to go? I mean, I swear he does this in his private life too. I swear he's like, did you see those checks and balances? Oh my gosh, did you see those checks and balances, honey? Did you see them? Did you see the checks and balances over there? Did you see the legislator over there? It's like, I don't know, it's just, he doesn't have to bring up the Federalist Papers every 5 minutes. You know, like, he really deserves to be in Elon's spite party. He really does, because I'm done with him. I just really am. And then even Tucker was annoyed with him too. It's like, it's like twice he kind of reacted to him. Once he said directly, and then later he was kind of indirectly talking about him. It's just, there's a reason why not that many people come for Ben Shapiro's opinion on things. Not that many people are like, well, hold on. And honestly, I feel bad for anybody who's like, Ben Shapiro, I have to. You know, if you listen to Ben Shapiro and get your opinion from Ben Shapiro, I strongly advise you to go to another person. Just search your idea through other people and see if it's true. Because Ben Shapiro does not represent anything he tries to pretend to in this video. And again, last thing I'm going to say is, to me, I'm going to say it, it feels like he had to scream it wasn't woke just because Trump said it was. So, you know, it feels like he's fighting Trump yet again. So, thank you, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you later. Bye.